Where we do want to place our bets is where an entrepreneur or the founder of a startup has a fairly good sense of where they want to go. Because based on whether they want to build the next generation product in a particular sector, we know how to get that done.
Hello, and a very warm welcome to Innovating India, the show that gets you all the interesting innovation that's happening across the country. This week, we have a slightly different guest with us. We have with us someone who represents the government. And believe it or not, the government is thinking of nurturing and building ecosystems to nurture innovation. So please welcome Mr. Ravi Narayan, CEO of T Hub and Chief Innovation Officer of the Government of Telangana. Thank you, Mr. Narayan, for joining us. I want to begin by asking you, what exactly does T Hub do? Why would a startup be interested in incubating at the T Hub?
T Hub was one of those very, very early initiative that was taken up by a state, and the youngest state to top it all, the state of Telangana.
Mhm.
So this was created to actually give a place for the startups to begin their journey. It was a world-class space. It could have been in San Francisco, New York, or Tel Aviv. It was, that class of space. They could come, they could work from there, they could meet fellow entrepreneurs, they could meet mentors and investors. Over a period of time, the 5 years that we have been on this journey, we have been able to create this as a beacon from going from 400 startups in the ecosystem to 2000 plus
Mhm.
startups, close to about 3000 now. That many startups have been created in
Wow.
just a short period of 5 years. We offer them all the way from being the first place that they would show up when they are thinking of building a startup, to actually helping them build their products or services, prototype them, get them into the market, get their initial customers, which is what we call as incubation,
Okay.
to the next stage where they have raised some institutional money from a VC. That's a Series A, as we call it in the VC terminology. We help them even beyond that, where most of our fellow incubators would have said, okay, we are done. This is great. We have set them off on their journey. We continue to work with them, and then even beyond that to Series B as well. So when they are scaling, they're going global, they're raising money from VCs overseas, and so on and so forth. We still stay relevant in their journey. So we
Fabulous.
look upon ourselves not on just the ones to get the journey started, but also to take them throughout the entire journey. Is the way we look upon ourselves as a innovation partner to the startups.
So, is this open only for startups or founders who are from the state, or is this open to anybody from any part of the country?
Obviously, our first order of business is to make sure that whoever is in the state, they get absolutely everything that we can offer them, resources for them to become very, very successful. Since we are a very mature organization in the sense that we have been down this path for a fairly long time, and now we have the ability to also offer what we have been offering more face to face on a digital platform,
Mhm.
because COVID made us do all kinds of wonderful things.
Sure.
Now we have the ability to reach out to startups anywhere across the country.
What is the qualifying criteria for a startup to be able to make the cut of being nurtured and incubated by T Hub?
A startup has to be very focused on what they want to get out of the program. It's not one where they just get into the program and say, okay, I don't know, you just take me along and make me successful. It's
Okay.
where they say, you know what, this is what I want, help me get there, and we'll get them there.
Is there a fee that they have to pay to be part of this?
Yeah, there is a fee. Mostly all the incubators across the city, across the state, across that part of the country, feed us their graduates so that we can now take them further along in their journey.
Is this only for tech startups, or are you also looking at startups in another space, like not necessarily tech?
It's tech and tech enabled startups. So
Okay.
there are lots of startups that are doing something great in, say, the assistive technology, or in technologies where there is a social, but there is a technology enablement underneath of that. So wherever tech plays a big role, we have the ability to help them.
You are the Chief Innovation Officer with the government. What exactly, how do you think about this? What exactly are the policies that can put an enabling ecosystem in place?
One, of course, was the policy said that we want to create an innovation infrastructure for the entire state. So there will be various organizations that will do multiple pieces, all the way from tech startups, which T-Hub does, to women entrepreneurs that V-Hub does, to taking research out into the commercial world, which does the Research Innovation Circle of Hyderabad, T-Works, which is the largest prototyping center in the country, to Task, which is the skilling organization for all the way from entrepreneurship to technology to other skills, right? So all of these are organizations that are building the infrastructure for the state. Now, on top of that, there is also the various other incentives that are provided for incubation, for growth, for providing jobs, to filing patents, and so on and so forth. And then there's also a funding ecosystem as to how do you create the right environment to make sure that these startups get funded at the right times, so that they can go forward with raising equity, not just grants and loans that I just alluded to before. So all of these are the kinds of ecosystems that they're building. And the last two I would like to just leave you with is the fact that there is a specific policy that we are putting together for the grassroots innovation, which is something that comes under the Chief Innovation Officer's mandate, and a social innovation. So I think these two are integral to the growth of India.
My last question to you is, government's battle with how much regulation is enabling regulation, how much regulation is over-regulation. How do you draw the line? How do you, draw the balancing act?
There were times that governments in the United States and various other countries, Israel, everywhere, government was involved. They were doing the fund of funds. They did, DRDO did give them the internet. They did give a lot of the technologies that then became the feeding ground for a lot of startups to take off from, and so on and so forth. So I think that has always been there. But today what we are seeing is the 30, 40 years hence, what has happened to the startup ecosystem. That doesn't mean that governments do not have a role to play in our own ecosystem as well. But the balancing act is the right word, right? So how do you create a innovation infrastructure? How do you create the right funding ecosystem? How do you create the right policies to actually really build these things out? It is not interventionist, not is it going to do anything directly to each startup at a time. It is the ability for you to create the right environment. Removing barriers, I guess, is a big role that they can play, because the barriers have been placed before we came into this picture. Okay. So that's something that only a government can do, not startups or a corporation or the industry can do at this point in time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Narayan. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.